Welcome to Sprinkle with Hope podcast, and your host, Shane. And Jason and I in the past have talked about affirmations and what that means to us, that we have our own affirmations that we like to talk about. We have a very special guest. Michele Blood is coming to speak with us and you about some of the things that she talks about. She has a book called The Magic of Affirmation Power that we'll talk a little bit about. So Michele, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
High energy, high power. We love it. So Michele, I mentioned a little bit about affirmations and your book. Can you just give our listeners just a little bit of a hint of your background and why you talk about affirmations, why you write about it, and those type of things?
Well, I was a rock singer in Australia, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I toured all over Australia for years and years and years, toured with really huge bands from international, had, music videos out, the whole 9 yards. I was living my life as the lead singer, the main songwriter, the manager of the band, amazing musicians, great road crew. It was really hard work because Australia is a huge country. It's hard to be on the road. But I was living my dream. I was already living my dream. Because I was singing professionally since the age of 5. I was on TV when I was just a little girl.
Wow.
And so what happened was I had a near fatal car accident and just horrific. I won't even go into anything. I don't want anyone to lose their breakfast, their lunch, or their dinner. But so many broken bones and it was just horrific. So, one of the operations went for 17 and a half hours. Obviously, I survived.
Yay.
But the driver of the truck fell asleep behind the wheel because it's hours. It's like sometimes it's 10 to 15 hour drive in between each gig in the cities. And as I was sitting in the passenger seat and all the equipment went into my back, so I was pretty much gone for. They didn't think I'd last, but I did. And I'm here to say that it was the best thing that ever happened to me because all of the things that I'd learned over all those years of singing and performing and all the rest of it led me to be on this life's purpose, this amazing voyage. And the way it happened was through me combining music with affirmations to heal my body. That's part one. Want me to continue?
Yes, please.
Please, yeah.
So while I was in the hospital, I won't say suicidal, but very, very depressed. When you're in emotional pain, sure, that's heavy too. But when you're in physical agony, there's nothing worse. There's nothing you can do to rise above it. And so I was normally a very focused, very happy person, very positive, a person who made things happen. And, if I could get a rock and roll band to get to the gigs on time every day, that's a lot of power.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
What time sound check? 4:00 when it was really 5:00.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another story. And so people kept bringing in these positive books. I couldn't move, so I couldn't read any books. And then they started bringing in tapes. You've got to be positive. And when you are in that sort of emotional and physical pain, the last thing you want is someone coming into your hospital room and saying, "Oh, come on, you've got a shit daisies today. Be happy."
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're just not happy. And it's very, very challenging when they're at a different frequency than you. You're not resonating with that. But anyway, what happened to me was a very weird, strange thing. The book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is what gave me a satori. What is a young, at the time, female rock singer in Australia? Why would that book about older, like Henry Ford's and all those sort of people, entrepreneurs in America, have anything to do with me?
Yeah.
It did because of one thing. One thing in that audio book was Napoleon Hill's little boy was born deaf. And so he would go into his little infant son's room every night and do affirmations. You can hear perfectly. You're strong. But just every night. His son grew up to go to a normal hearing school. He gained 30% of hearing, which they said was impossible. It was miraculous. And he went on to becoming a huge mogul in the hearing aid industry. So, you know, I was like, you know what? I think I'll give these affirmations, this auto-suggestion, a bit of a go. Because I had nothing to lose, right?
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, I was just, you know, if I can't be up on stage doing cartwheels, jumping on speakers and doing all the crazy stuff I did as a singer, what am I going to do with my life? Okay, you can write songs and maybe do jingles or something, but, you know, it was pretty depressing. But I thought, you know, I've got nothing to lose. So I did an affirmation. I created an affirmation. Napoleon Hill said, it has to be stated in the now as if it's already happened. So I said, I am healed, because I was totally not healed. So that's a good one. Great lie. I know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. I didn't love myself. I thought, you know, my life was over. And so I kept saying it over and over again. And it said to add some sprinkle it with some spirituality, right?
Right.
So I put, you know, the healing light of the universe surrounds me and I know I am healed. So I kept saying this over and over again. And after a few days, I realized this was not going to work, because Napoleon Hill said, you have to emotionalize it. I could not emotionalize it. So my doubting mind kept shooting it out of my short-term memory. So it would never go into the subconscious mind where it's got to go.
Right.
And, you know, neurologists and science these days have found that this is true. We have a short-term memory, a long-term memory, and we have, you know, certain things aren't kept. You know, not everyone has a perfect memory, and it has to go into the subconscious mind. I mean, back in those days, especially with Napoleon Hill, they didn't have any proof of that.
Right.
He just had studied all these successful people who did affirmations, who affirmed, who made a decision. This is what's going to happen. I'm successful. And they never gave up. They made a decision. And so I guess they emotionalized it. So after a few days, I just gave it away. I said, this is not working. This is ridiculous. I feel like an idiot. And then the lights came on. You're a singer-songwriter, Michele. You cannot get a jingle or a song out of your head once it's in. Why do the kids, I was so happy, why do kids learn their alphabet, you know, by singing it?
Yeah.
So I just made up a little jingle in my head straight away. And I always had a little tape recorder with me in case I ever had a songwriting idea, so it wouldn't, you know, shoot out
escape.
of short-term memory.
Yeah.
So I started singing, I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend, over and over again. And I filled like a 60-minute cassette with me singing it over and over again. Now we're going to get to part 2, 3, and 4 all in one quick paragraph. So I was healed. I became healed. It was a miracle. Journalists were coming to me. Doctors were saying it was miraculous. Then I started writing more and more affirmation songs for all the things that I wanted to manifest in my experience, you know, to have my band go #1, you know, all this sort of thing. I wasn't thinking of the affirmation music being anything to do with the public or for anyone else. It was just for me. But I mean, of course, being a musician, I always had professional musicians come in with me and I recorded them professionally. But then these promoters found out about me through TV interviews and stuff from the healing, and they wanted me to start touring and singing these affirmation songs with these people I'd never heard of: Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay, Bob Proctor. And I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't do seminars, you know. But they said, we'll pay you $5,000 a gig. And I said, sold.
Yeah. Done.
And then Stuart Wilde and Bob Proctor were both at different events that I worked with them. They were just so turned on by having affirmations with music, because they both said to me, you know, we've been teaching this forever. Affirmations, auto-suggestion over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But to do it with music, you can't get it out of your head. And so I ended up working with Bob Proctor and all of these people. I worked with Bob Proctor for 3.5 years, toured all over Asia, and ended up getting so many things manifested into my experience, left my band and became a solo artist, still doing pop music, but positive pop music. Like one of my
cool.
songs
Yeah.
was like Mere Dust Without You, Baby. I decided I would never again write a negative can't live without you type of song. And so now my music's in different languages. It's sold all over the world. I mean, one of my songs has been downloaded a couple of million times.
Wow.
It's amazing. So affirmations without music still work, but it just takes longer. So if you do the affirmations, speaking them, and you do them and you listen to music or make up your own affirmation song, just get some karaoke music and just a song that you like I Feel Good by James Brown. That's a great affirmation song. I feel good and I knew that I would. I love that.
Yeah.
Ow, get down, get up. Which one is it? Ow,
love it.
Help Matt. Mercy.
I love it, Michelle. And I love your energy. You just bring so much energy. And I think that's really what it's about. And you talked about emotionalizing, right? And I think that's how that subconscious works, is we have to attach an emotion to the thing we're trying to get into our head. If you don't have the emotion, that's why things that are scary or things that, whatever, we attach that emotion, excitement, fear, whatever it is that we're attaching to it. You're just attaching the excitement of music to that emotion to remember that affirmation, right?
You don't have to emotionalize the music. It just goes straight into your subconscious mind, because the left side of your brain is the logical side. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the right side of the brain is the creative side, the melody. So you've got the lyrics, which is in the logical side. You've got the melody and the music on the right brain. You have an entire brain experience that goes straight into your subconscious mind, which is why A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
Yeah. Yeah.
So you do not have to emotionalize it. But if you can as well, because the music does change your vibration. So you do start feeling better, because it's all about getting beyond the doubting mind where fear is. And, some people say, well, just do it scared, do it anyway. But what if somebody can't? They're just too much in fear or doubt. The affirmation music, doing visualization with music, brings your vibration up to a whole different frequency beyond the doubting mind. So you got to do it on your own, but you can't do it alone. You've got to have whatever tools you can find in your toolbox to assist you, even if you don't believe in it. You got to do something to get to release fear from your life, because fear is the only thing stopping anyone from having a wonderfully wealthy, happy, spectacular life. Fear. We've got to release that.
So speaking about fear, are there things that you found that work for you to dispel this fear in your life, and maybe some tips on how we can do that?
Well, I've always been the sort of person that's been pretty courageous, but I've got a lot of students. I teach mysticism and meditation and about awakening, because I did have an awakening. And then your fear is gone. But what happens is, just so people can understand, everyone is like this shiny diamond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, this ocean of light, you are one with that now, but people just don't understand or realize that. So this immortal consciousness, this beautiful soul, the divine presence, the enlightenment that animates everybody. But what happens is, every time there's an emotion that's negative, like anger, jealousy, envy, fear, it starts clogging up or over the diamond. So people can't feel God. They can't feel their spirit. They can't feel anything except doubt or fear. And what we do is we do whatever we can to release those sludges. Otherwise, they keep building up, and you can't feel life anymore. It's like life is spectacular. It's a gift. And for people to not be happy. So the affirmation music assists with releasing, getting your vibration up enough to start releasing, popping those,
I
little
love
sludges. And then meditation, being still, going into the silence, feeling, getting a spiritual teacher who's awakened, who can pray, really pray. and reach that divine presence within you and transmit light to you while you're meditating really assists you. Meditation, you don't have to be religious to meditate. Meditation assists your immune system. It gives you peace of mind. It gives you focus. It gives you more brain power. It gives you energy, and it gives you peace of mind. So I recommend it for every single person in the world. If they knew what it can give you, they would have done it years ago. Some people just think, oh, that's a spiritual thing, isn't it? I'm not spiritual. Of course you're spiritual. That's all you are. Spirit.
Yeah,
So there's
I
a lot of things to help release the fear. Meditation, creative visualization. And of course, if you can manage to do something that you're afraid of doing. Like I love the way Bob Proctor says to jump over that terror barrier, because once you do, you're in the creative lane, you know, where 2 or 3 people are gathered, you're in the fast lane of life, you know. And be around people that are positive. Don't listen to negativity. Don't go down the rabbit holes that everyone seems to be going down about. Is the vaccine good, the COVID, this or that? Do whatever you can to do something creative in your life. Releasing the things in your home that are old. Oh, that it's the old you is a really, really good thing to do. Old clothes. So you bring in new energy. You know, get a new pillow. I don't care what you've got to get, but get rid of the old stuff. So you start feeling good. Maybe feng shui your house a bit and put flowers around, and, you know, just do things that are going to brighten up your spirit. And if you feel down, look up.
I love that. I love what you're saying. You're speaking my language right now. And so I love everything that you said. And I agree, you know, if you're looking down, you know, look up, right? Like if you're feeling that way, look up. I love that, you know, that visual. So, you know, you bring a lot of high energy to all the things that you do. Is there a couple other things that you typically do to kind of help bring yourself into that positive?
Work out. Exercise.
Out?
Yeah. You've got to exercise all the time. Whatever you need to do to exercise, if it's dancing. I mean, even with the lockdown, I couldn't go to Pilates anymore, but then I talked my teacher into doing it online, and she's actually got a business going now with doing Pilates online. Run, walk, do, you know, you can learn anything online these days. Everyone's opening up dance studios online, and, you know, exercising your body is extremely important. You've got to keep your immune system strong. Everything that you do has got to be, because if you have low energy and you're in fear, I'm telling you, if someone's really got low energy, they are a person who's not working out. It's not about, you know, losing weight or looking good. It's about being fit in your mind and your spirit. And you feel better within your body when it's fit and toned. You just feel like everything is possible. It's not about, you know, I haven't seen anyone for a long, long time in person. But it's just, it's a really, really important factor. Some people like to do weights, you know, whatever it is that you've got to do to keep yourself strong, do that.
That's awesome. I think everything you've talked about is simple, small steps. It's action. It's taking that action to do something, and not just sitting back and thinking my life is going to get better without doing anything. That's never going to work. So let's talk just a little bit about your book. Again, it's called The Magic of Affirmation Power. Holding it up right now. So can you talk just a little bit about that? I don't know if you have.
Thank you for asking. Good question, because it's really quite interesting. The first book I ever wrote, I couldn't even type. This is like, oh gosh, how long ago was it? 1991.
Okay.
I was in Malaysia working with Bob Proctor, and he said, you know, you really, you know, all of these affirmations, songs and everything. He said, I think it'd be great at our seminars if you could, you know, have a book that went with it. And he went away for a month, and by the time he came back to Kuala Lumpur, I'd written the book.
Wow.
And, you know, I did like cartoons in it. And he's like, how did you do that? I didn't think you could type. And I said, I just recorded it. I just recorded what I knew, what I do when I'm on stage, and just had someone transcribe it for me. And then I went to this cartoonist to make all these fun cartoons of breaking down barriers, karate style, and all this other stuff. And he's like, this is crazy. I don't know how you did that. Anyway, and it was called Affirmation Power. So after the last, say, 12 years, I was teaching, I've got meditation students that come from all over the world to something called the mysticalexperience.com. And they learn meditation. I do prayers with them. It's people from all walks of life and all ages. And a really interesting thing happened. Just a few years ago, about 2.5 years ago, I was doing an live event in San Diego. We had people flying in from all over the world. And I had all these old books left, and I decided to close that office down because I just bought a house and I could do everything from home. I didn't need a big office anymore because I had a big home. Anyway, so I said to one of the people that work with me, Trevor, lovely Trevor Rogers, I said, let's give all these away to everyone today. Just tell them they can take as many as they like of this book, because I didn't really teach about affirmations per se much at that stage. It was sort of going into deeper mysticism. And the feedback from these people was awesome. They were like, this is great. Why don't you teach us about affirmations? We know about your affirmation. We know about your music. We have that, but this really is really quite fascinating. And so I decided, because it was sort of, older and so many more things had happened to me, that I would rewrite it. So it's rewriting the book and adding different things that I'd learned along the way about meditation and different things. So it's filled with affirmations and about visualization, and there's links in it that give you tons of free products. Some of my best-selling songs and visualization tools, audio programs as a gift, which I've got for you guys or for all of your beautiful watchers and listeners. So they will get that. But the audio version of it is really, really good because it goes for hours of doing affirmations. People there's music underneath, and then I do an affirmation for those who just want to do the affirmation. Then they can repeat it after me. And if you guys would like that, in either CD form, but you're young, so just probably MP3 will be fine for you. I'll get Trevor to send it to you because it's really, really cool. And you
That'd be
guys
awesome.
are into affirmations, so yeah.
I'd love that. And if you wouldn't mind, Michele, maybe sharing, an affirmation or two, with song, if you'd like, however you want to do it. Maybe just share it with us and the listeners, kind of some of the, one or two of the ones that really kind of stick out to you.
Yeah, I'll do it straight from the book. If you guys want to repeat this after me.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. My spirit uplifts and inspires others.
My spirit uplifts and inspires others.
I am now so very healthy.
I am now so very healthy.
As my spirit has inspired me to work out.
As my spirit has inspired me to work out.
I always take right divine action.
I always take right divine action.
And because of that, all in my life is in right divine order.
And because of that, my life is in divine right order.
I love to meditate every day.
I love to meditate every day.
And because of that, my faith is strong.
And because of that, my faith is strong.
I am persistent.
I am persistent.
I am the fittest and healthiest of my entire life.
I am the fittest and healthiest of my entire life.
I am immortal consciousness.
I am immortal consciousness.
Every day in every divine right way, I am richer and richer.
Every day and every divine right, I am richer and richer.
I am richer in health.
I am richer in health.
I am richer in faith.
I am richer in faith.
I am richer in love.
I am richer in love.
I am richer in meditation.
I am richer in meditation.
I am richer in divine friendship.
I am richer in divine
friendship.
I am richer in good fortune.
I am richer in good fortune.
I am richer in money. money.
I am richer in money.
And I am richer in peace of mind.
And I am richer in peace
of mind.
I am submerged in eternal holy light.
I am submerged in eternal holy light.
Holy light permeates every particle of my being.
Holy light permeates every particle of my being.
And my song, I don't know if you've heard it, but it's sort of like all over the internet. I am a magnet to money.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Money loves me. And sometimes people that are on a spiritual path feel weird. They feel like it's sort of naughty to talk about money in such a sort of irreverent way.
Yeah.
It's just energy. And you can do so much for others when you start really creating wealth in your life. And it's not about being attached to the money. It's about what you can do with it, because it does give you a lot more freedom. So I really say to people, listen to that Magnet to Money song over and over if you're feeling weird about it, because you have to get beyond it. It's not about ego. It's about freedom. It's about what you can do for your family, your loved ones. You know, especially during the COVID, when you have more money, you can help people out with their rent. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to assist them. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. So you talked, I think you mentioned an offer for our listeners to get your book. Did I hear you right? Yeah,
it's free. Not just the book. I'm giving you, please go through the book, guys, because it's all free. Because there's the Magnet to Money. There's so many good songs, affirmation songs, visualization. I mean, I can't even remember everything that we give you that's gifted, but it's just Michele Blood, but with one L, Michele Blood, BLOOD. Blame my father. It's an Irish name. MichelleBlood.com/sprinkled with hope, because of you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's
great. We will
great.
make sure to put that in the show notes for sure.
Yep. Hopefully everybody takes advantage of that. Michelle, we have loved this discussion. Jason and I have come up with what we call the double down dose. So we have 2 questions for you. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Hang on.
Yeah.
Now she's ready. Okay, here we go. So the first part of double down dose is simply this. How would you, Michelle, define hope?
Oh, faith. It's a knowingness that everything is possible with the divine presence, and just knowing it's not just about you, that you are not alone. You may think you're on your own, but you're not. You can always turn to your divine presence, whichever way you choose to do that. You can call it love. You can turn to love. You can turn to looking at pink clouds, but it's looking at the positive. Whenever, it's not complaining, complaining brings in fear. If you want to have true inspiration, well, that's the way to go.
That's awesome. I love that definition. I appreciate that. So the second part, and you kind of already touched on it a little bit, but how would you define love? What is your definition of love?
Oh, love is it's the energy that animates our being. The trees grow, the snow falls, puppy dogs, kittens, this entire globe, this entire universe is vibrating at a frequency that people don't understand, but it's love. And people always look for that outside of themselves. But when you start really being grateful for what animates your being, that love, that frequency, it's the highest frequency. It's omnipotent power. It's omniscient wisdom, and it's omnipresent. It's everywhere. And it is the vibration that, we're born from the stars. That's love. That's incredible. This world is miraculous love. So that's what love is. It's like peace and joy combined. And that's what bliss is. It's just, thank you.
That is great. Michelle, I really appreciate your time with us. I love your energy. I love the enthusiasm you have with life in general. And thank you so much for offering this to our listeners. We really appreciate that. best wishes to you and anything that comes your way. Thank you again so much for your time with us today.
Well, Shane and Jason, you are gorgeous. And I thank you so much and give you a lot of love. More love, more love.
Yes. I love it. And I can feel that. I can feel that energy. And so hopefully you feel our energy back at you. And
I do. I think you guys are darlings. And I just think it's very inspirational what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for allowing me to do whatever I could for your audience today as well.
I love that. And we're going to continue to sprinkle hope and love throughout the world. And we're so glad that you're a part of us being able to do that and continue to sprinkle that hope and love all over the world.
Absolutely. Because if you sprinkle, remember what Peter Pan said, just a little bit of fairy dust sprinkled and a happy thought, and you can fly.
Yep.
Yeah. That is a great way to end, Michele. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. More love. More love.